one thing and you mix it with another thing, then it hardens. But if you add some in that's not supposed to be there and it's fully developed,
right,
you're not going to take that out. Like if you added oil, you threw some oil in the epoxy, like, now you f***ed that whole thing up. That's kind of what you're doing to a person when you raise a person famous. If you take some reality star from the time they're 5 and then they're in a sitcom and a movie, and then you've gone through your whole, I don't know why I said reality star, but you've gone through your whole life. If you're that person, if you're Justin Bieber, you've gone through your whole life.
Under that eye.
Under the eye, and it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and more people paying attention. Like you never had a moment like you did where you're working for the railroad tracks.
Right.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second.
Joe Rogan just jumped into a conversation people have been dodging for years, and now he's aiming straight at Ellen DeGeneres, Diddy, and Justin Bieber's early story. What he's hinting at doesn't sound like simple industry mentorship at all. It's about what may have really happened behind those closed doors back when Bieber was too young to fully understand what was going on. And if Rogan is connecting these dots the right way, then the version of Bieber's story people believed for years might not even be the full truth. If you've been watching how conversations have been shifting lately, you've probably noticed certain names popping up in ways that feel different now. And at this point, the focus isn't just on Diddy anymore. It's spreading wider, pulling more attention with it. Rogan stepping into this space has people paying closer attention because he's not coming at it like headlines or courtroom drama. He's looking at patterns, behavior, and old clips that have always been out there but never really questioned until now. And once he started putting those pieces together, one name kept coming back strong: Ellen DeGeneres. Now stop for a second, because for years, Ellen had that image locked in. Safe, daytime TV, laughs, giveaways, positive vibes. But Rogan flipping that image has people feeling uneasy because he's pointing out just how close she really was to Diddy. Not just random appearances, but repeated access, ongoing interactions, the kind that starts to look deeper than just surface-level connections. Now, when you line that up with everything already said about Diddy's private environments, those controlled spaces.
No, it's great. So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seen to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then no, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about that. Oh. Is that going to be a new thing? Are you going to try to be early?
Yes, I'm trying to be early.
Are you going to be early for my party?
Yes, I am. No.
No.
I have to arrive fashionably late.
All right. Not too late, though.
Not too late?
Not too late, please.
What time would you like me there?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But not too late. Because, once you get there, the party really starts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I promise you I'm not going to let you down on this big one.
All right,
For
good.
real.
Good.
Your feet are going to have blisters. You're going to be dancing so hard.
I can't wait.
Invite-only rooms where nothing ever gets out, the whole question starts to shift. It's not just about who Diddy was around anymore. It becomes about who else had access to those same hidden spaces. And Rogan didn't stop there, because once he brought Ellen into the picture, the conversation started moving towards something deeper. People began looking at roles, patterns, who might have been the facilitators, the connectors, the ones who weren't just there, but possibly helping keep those environments running smoothly behind the scenes. That's when the name Ghislaine Maxwell starts coming up in discussions. Not as a direct connection, but more like a reference point for how these kinds of systems can operate. Think about that for a second. Spaces like that don't just manage themselves. So the real questions get sharper. Who was organizing access? Who was making introductions? Who was keeping everything looking normal on the outside while things stayed hidden on the inside? And the way Rogan framed it, Ellen's position in Hollywood gave her a level of reach most people didn't even think to question back then. Now bring it back to Justin Bieber, because at the center of all this is him, a young kid, just 13 years old, coming out of Canada and stepping into a world built on power, influence, and connections he couldn't fully understand yet. At first, everything looked clean and polished. Usher stepping in, guiding Bieber, opening doors.
Tired of being played out. Like, all of this is weird. Weird, and it's just, it's the symbolism, it's all of that. I'm tired of Usher. I wish somebody would come out and just like sue him. Like, we need Usher. No, we do. We need a victim to come out and be honest about him. Because what I'm realizing is that he's gonna fake the funk into the victim. He's just gonna keep on sucking the devil's. And I don't know, you know, like with a baby, that pacifier, sometimes you gotta pull it out. You know what I'm saying? And take it away, right? When the baby's used to sucking on the pacifier.
Showing him how the industry works. It all seemed like a perfect setup for success. But then one of those doors led straight to Diddy. And that's where Rogan starts asking the real questions. Why was Diddy so interested in spending private time with someone that young? Why were there moments being described that couldn't even be talked about publicly? And here's what really hits. Why did it all sound so normal back then, but feels completely different now?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy. Crazy.
That shift alone has people looking twice at everything. Because old clips started resurfacing, showing Diddy talking about spending time alone with Bieber, describing experiences he couldn't fully explain, calling it something every young person would dream about. At the time, people brushed it off, but now those same words are landing very differently. Rogan pointed out something simple but heavy. Real mentorship doesn't usually come with secrecy. So what exactly was being kept hidden? That question alone changes the tone fast. Now the focus shifts.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second. I just want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to...
Because it's not just about what was said back then, it's about how Bieber has carried himself since. The emotional interviews, the visible struggles, the way he talks about wanting to protect younger artists like Billie Eilish. It doesn't come across like someone only dealing with fame pressure. It feels deeper, more personal. Even Bieber himself has hinted at betrayal, mentioning that people he trusted turned out to be very different behind closed doors. Rogan takes that and ties it back to the environment, because if a young artist is placed into rooms they didn't choose, surrounded by powerful figures, then the responsibility doesn't sit on just one person. It spreads across everyone who had access. And that's where Ellen's name comes back into the frame again.
All of those that were harmed and corrupted while in his care. I grew up to be men. Boys like Bashir Gray. August Alsina. Your own son. Like, your own son. Do people forget about that voice clip that I played from Brother Belial?
See, they trying to sell him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present that tape.
If she was close to Diddy,
It's great. I'm watching him, you know, he's with my man Charlie Mack. So Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo. So Charlie has been with me, you know, 30 years coming up in the business. So, you know, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love.
comfortable in that circle and present in that world, then people start asking, how much did she know? And that single question starts shifting the entire narrative in a big way. Now things go even deeper because Rogan didn't present this like it was just one isolated situation. He didn't present it like some one-off situation. Rogan framed it as a pattern, a system where young talent gets pulled in early, exposed to environments they don't fully understand, and then expected to move forward like nothing ever happened.
I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation due to the transformation from their marriage to life partnership that they've spoken on several times, and it, not involving romanticism. He gave me his blessing, and I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life, and I truly and really, really deeply loved and have a ton of love for her. I devoted myself.
You and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided...
I was done with your ass.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we basically, we broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, I think from there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
That's where more names start entering the conversation and things get even more intense. Bresher Gray, young, rising fast, connects with Will Smith, and then suddenly everything starts falling apart. Public struggles, emotional moments, career issues stacking up, and Jaguar even spoke on it, directly calling Will out. That alone had people looking at the situation differently. Then there's August Alsina, stepping into powerful circles and later speaking about experiences that didn't feel like normal relationships at all. He came out of those situations visibly affected, and people started questioning what really goes on in those spaces. Even Jaden Smith's name gets mentioned in wider conversations about being around elite environments at a young age. Now, none of these stories are exactly the same, but that's not the point Rogan was making. He wasn't trying to prove one single version of events. He was pointing at repetition. Because when multiple young artists step into similar spaces and come out changed, it stops looking random and starts looking like a pattern you can't ignore. Now bring it back to Bieber, because the biggest question isn't just what may have happened, it's who allowed it to happen. Usher introduced him, but how much time was really spent in those environments and who else was involved behind the scenes? Ellen was moving in that same circle too, posting birthday messages for Bieber, even calling him nicknames like Cuddle Muffin and Snuggle Stuff. And when people questioned it, brushing it off with a quick, "You don't need to know why," that kind of energy didn't sit right with everyone, and now those moments are being looked at way more closely. Now here's another layer Rogan hinted at, timing. Because as more names started getting pulled into the conversation, certain people began moving differently. Ellen's public presence got quieter. Fewer appearances, stepping back without much explanation. That alone doesn't prove anything, but it definitely makes people pay closer attention, because timing like that always raises questions. So think about this. If everything was completely normal, why do old clips suddenly feel so different now? Why do past interactions feel uncomfortable today when they didn't raise eyebrows before? And even bigger, why do so many people connected to these spaces either stay silent or respond in ways that don't really answer what's being asked? Now you've got a young artist showing signs of carrying something deeper than just fame pressure. You've got powerful figures all linked through the same circles, old clips resurfacing, narratives shifting, and a pattern that keeps repeating with different names popping up again and again. So the real question hits harder. Was Justin Bieber just another artist figuring out fame? Or was he someone who experienced things the public is only now starting to piece together? And if that's true, how many other stories follow that same pattern? How many people stay quiet because speaking out comes with a cost most aren't willing to pay? Because if what Rogan is pointing at has any weight, then this isn't just about one person anymore. It's about how the system itself operates, who it protects, and who ends up taking the damage. So now the question really lands. Are these just random coincidences, or is there something deeper tying all these dots together that people are only now starting to notice? And if more voices start speaking out, what else could come to light that's been hidden this whole time? This isn't just surface level talk anymore. It's making people look twice at things they ignored before. So speak on it. What do you think is really going on here? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let the conversation keep building. And don't just watch and scroll. Hit that like button, subscribe to stay locked in, and share this with someone who needs to hear it, because these conversations are only getting louder.